missed you. Thank you for coming today. I have an important announcement to make. A little tiny life lesson to help you along life's path. Recently, some people predicted, oh my gosh, my hands are so dry. Look at that. Look how dry my hands are. Using all that cleaner on my hands. But I'm safe. Gotta get some lotion on there. Recently, Daybell and Vallow went on a killing spree because they thought the world was going to end. They predicted it. They saw it in the stars. They saw it in their religious teachings. They saw it in signs and dreams and visions. And they predicted the world was going to end. I wish they would have contacted me because I would have made a bet with them. Anytime anybody predicts the end of the world, I always take that bet. Always take the bet. Because if the world ends, I don't have to pay. Because the world ended. I won't be here to pay it. But if it doesn't end on that day, like it never does, pay up. Now, boy, my hands are dry. Here's a small graph to illustrate what I'm getting at, just for those who may not understand. Now, right here, you have a graph that shows clearly how many times in the last 1,000 years or so people have predicted the end of the world. Now, for rough estimate, we have 1,500 times, but it's actually probably been more than that, sadly. Now, here on the other side of the graph, we have how many times those people were actually correct. Well, that's a 0. That's a naught. A big Z. I don't know if Z is 0 over in Europe. But anyway, here we have this tall graph of all these times everybody thought they were going to get it right, but were wrong. They were always wrong. They were never right. Not once. Not ever. And on the other side of the graph, we have how many times the earth is not ended, which is 0. And this is very telling. This kind of clues you into their bullshit. So always take that bet. That's the life lesson today. Kids, if somebody says, I can see it, the world's going to end, say, how much money you want to put on that? When's it going to end? Give me a specific date. I'll take any date you want. I'll even give you multiple dates. 12 o'clock on Sunday, 3 o'clock on Monday, and 7 p.m. on Tuesday, right? I'll give you 3 dates. How much you want to put down on it? Maybe that's why betting was always frowned upon by religious circles, because, I can't bet, it's against my religion. I say nay. It's like, you're betting the world's going to end to keep the old dollars flowing. It's a pet peeve with me, and I'm sorry that it annoys me so much. But I really worry that in these times like these, when things are so bad and ugly, people are worried about everything from wearing, the right type of mask. This is an N95, by the way. I think it is, or is it even better than that? No, this is an 85. This is a 8511. I think this is even better than I don't know. But anyway, which mask is the right mask. Cleaning my hands with cleaner, spraying down everything, keeping everything clean, keeping everything washed off. It's easy to get frightened by all the rhetoric, all the bullshit, all the frightening things people say. And I've had a lot of people ask me recently to tell them something good. Tell me something good. Tell me something good. And I want to tell them something good. And the good thing is I got into my history books and I looked up what happened the last time this happened. Because sometimes we can learn lessons from the past. And everything that is happening right now, all the fear-mongering, all the politicizing of medical terms and medical opinions, and that's right, they're just medical opinions. These doctors and scientists are giving you their best opinion. But all of this has happened before. Anti-mask demonstrations, people refusing to wear masks, people thinking a mask would impinge on their ability to breathe correctly. And the only reason I'm even bringing any of this up is a lot of people have wrote me, and they're genuinely frightened and scared, and they're afraid they're making the wrong decision. And I don't want you to go around, you shouldn't go around every day thinking you're making the wrong decision and being frightened, because that's a good way to get sick. That is a very, very good way to get yourself so worked up that you allow yourself to be compromised and put yourself in a situation out of fear or anxiety where you could get hurt, or you let your guard down and you get sick. You put yourself into a situation due to social pressures and anxiety and peer pressure, whatever you want to call it, and you end up making poor life decisions. A lot of you that watch my videos are very young, and you think you have to do something as dumb as share a joint, right? Or drink after someone because you don't want to look like a pussy, and we're going to talk about it openly. You don't want to be a wimp. You don't want people to call you names. So you do these things thinking you're fitting in, and you're actually giving yourself a real good chance of getting ill, getting sick, And you don't have to drink that beer to fit in, and you don't have to smoke that joint to fit in. And you certainly shouldn't be sharing these items to try to be cool when there's a global pandemic going on now. Global. That means the entire planet is dealing with this in some way or the other. The entire planet, our entire little oasis, is dealing with this. And I can see that it's hurting my audience. I'm getting less views. I would be ashamed of myself if I came to you with things like premieres or asking for any kind of donations, because I think a lot of you out there right now, watching this video right now in my audience, are struggling right now to make ends meet. And the last thing you need is any kind of financial burdens put on you. So I don't want you to feel that way or worry. And it's very frightening because there is a lot of politicizing of these kind of events. Everybody knows the world isn't going to end, for instance. We all know that this is just one person's prediction. And we've heard it before, the ones of us that are older. Now, some of you are younger. This isn't an insult because you're younger. But those of us that are older have heard all of this bullshit, which is what it is, before. And we tend to take it with a grain of salt and giggle and laugh about it. But when you see somebody like Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow willing to kill their spouses and kill their children to hide and cover up these horrible, horrible crimes and misdeeds, and they start talking about the end of the world, it can get frightening. In Waco, Texas, David Koresh was frightening a lot of people by saying, he was the Messiah risen for the second time, and he was quoting all this religious dogma. And a lot of people aren't very educated, haven't read the Bible, and they were scared. They were afraid that maybe he was correct. And I think he had every intention of climbing out of his hidden bunker 3 days after the fires died down, but in the end they suffocated or were shot. But he had every intention of climbing out of that bunker and proclaiming that he was the risen Messiah 3 days later. And he would have frightened so many people. And a lot of it comes down to education. Education, fear, the indoctrination of society. We tend to give religious organizations, schools, and social organizations a lot of leeway with our children because we think they're teaching our children moral values and clean living, a good way of life, how to live a proper lifestyle, or how to be a good citizen. And we tend to give them too much authority over our children. We really do. I've learned this as a parent, so this isn't something I speak of lightly. And what we need to do is remember that when your kids come home from Sunday school or church camp or regular camp or the Scouts or even school, and they hear certain things, maybe opinions that you're not comfortable with them hearing. I always make the joke that kids learn about sex on the school bus. And every third grader knows about sex because they've all heard it by then on the school bus. And that's terrible. But there's a certain reality to that where it's true. And where good parenting comes in, just like right now, I'm not trying to be your dad or your parent, but good parenting comes in right now where I start to try to get you to look at whatever you heard with a grain of salt, a little flavor to it, not let it frighten you, not let it become an obsession in your mind, not allow you to walk around in fear. I think it's very important for parents to show their children things like 9/11, Pearl Harbor, other disasters like the shuttle explosions, the horrible disaster at Waco, Texas, the bombing in Oklahoma City, the Boston Marathon bombing. And it's important to parents to share these events with their children in the right context. It's amazing being able to drink water without it dribbling down my lip. And you have to teach your children that though these things are horrible examples of humanity at its worst, you have to see the people who came in to rescue the children and the adults and the safety workers, the firemen, the police, the trained responders that risk their lives to come into these situations and save lives, to bring people back from the brink of destruction. If the world was going to end, then everybody would just let it end. They wouldn't try to fight it. They wouldn't try to stand up to it. In a way, a car accident, people lying on the side of the road, splayed out in a crash, dying, their world is literally ending. So if the world is truly to end, then why do we help them? We should just let fate take its course. And there probably are people that feel that that's the proper way to look at life. But I tend to see that we don't do that in reality. In reality, we stop strangers that might have gave them the finger a few miles before because of their erratic driving or not paying attention before the wreck, will stop and do everything in their power to save these people, to mitigate their injuries, stop the bleeding, risk their own health to pull them from a burning wreckage. And the examples of this go on and on and on. The ship you're on is sinking, but you didn't sit down and go down with the ship. You got up. You swam to a lifeboat. You rescued yourself. People don't give up. They don't quit. They don't surrender. Sometimes they do. Sometimes we put our arms out and we just let them take us to the fate that awaits us. But sometimes they fight back. And it's contagious. Others see the fight. They see a different path. Instead of lying down waiting for the boat to sink beneath our feet, they become proactive. They help and rescue others. They save those innocents that might otherwise be lost. And you see it all the time. And once again, going back to our graph, if we will, I can show you innumerable times when people saved others, took the chance to make things right, went the road less traveled, and I can show you 0 examples where we all laid down and just let the world end because it didn't happen. We aren't designed that way. I know they'd like to convince you that we are designed that way, that we have a finite existence and an eternal reward. But when the chips are down and events take place around us, real events, real world events, human beings tend to live in the moment and do everything they can to survive. And this is a testament to you. This is a testament to you, the ones that got up, didn't lie down, didn't take it. And you know, you can do a combination of the two. Some people find themselves in a situation where they have to lie down and take a little bit of abuse or live through a horrible situation for a while until they can gather their wits, gather their courage, and screw up their confidence. That's the middle of the story. The beginning of the story is the horrible, traumatic event the person being manipulated or controlled, frightened. The middle of the story is the person gaining their wits, gathering the knowledge before them. And the end of the story is the person getting up and getting the hell out of there. I know a lot of you are in situations that are bad and you can't see a way out. All you see is the door before you. But in reality, the door before you is just one possible outcome in the scenario. Look around you. Are there things in your immediate environment that can help you extricate yourself from the situation? Is there a different direction than that door in front of you to go? Go in a different direction. Egress from the situation. And last but not least, there's tons of recorded information out there to help you figure out how to defend yourself through any means possible. And I do assure you, if you fight back, it makes you less desirable. I assure you. I just wanted to come here today and tell you how much I missed all of you. I have been working so much, I can't keep up, and I'm really struggling. Even this was an effort, and it's probably not the greatest thing I've ever done. The most awesome of plots and stories, the greatest role play ever seen, the best video that's ever been made. But these messages come from the heart. We are victims of our circumstances. All of us. We live in the world. We don't live outside of this oasis, this great blue marble floating in the blackness of space. This is our one and only island, Earth, and we have to make it work. And we have to make it work for everyone. We really do. And it's not good when people live in fear. There are a lot of horrible things going on in the world right now, and I'm not happy about most of those things. Are very upsetting to me. And as an empathic person who cares, who has fallen in love with humanity, who wants to do good in the world, it's hard sometimes to even get out of bed. And the news, even if you look for feel-good news, can bring you down. There's just so much out there. We're our own worst enemies when it comes to reporting everything. It's our greatest protection, but our greatest enemy. It's used for us to save us and used against us at the same time. And it's up to you, the individual, to navigate it and to somehow find a way to make the world a better place. It is. It's up to the individual. And I'm proud of all of you. I know you think people just say that, but I actually am. I see the things that my audience has done and will do, from all the many veterans, first responders, police, soldiers, nurses that watch my videos, and find some kind of comfort and escapism from all the things that they see in the world. If I can bring just a little bit of comfort and escape from the world for those people, then I've done something good. And if there's anything I could do for veterans out there, I would do it. Those that have volunteered of their own free will to make the world a better place for us. And not everybody is perfect, and everybody makes mistakes, even when they're trying to be righteous. You think you're doing a good thing, and you're actually not. It's okay. And you know why? Because we all make mistakes. The trick is to recognize your mistakes and then build on it. Build on making it correct, fixing it, making things better. So don't be afraid. Don't live in fear. And be strong. And when I say I'm proud of you, that's sincere. I get a lot of letters. And the letters are what keep an artist going. The letters, and I try to reply to all of them the best I can. The letters are the connection between you and me and our humanity. They keep us in the same tribe, in the same wheelhouse, looking out for each other and our best interests. And summer will keep going, and there's going to be some really cool stuff coming up really soon. I should have a video very soon after this. But for right now, this is my mid-year little pep talk to cheer you up and let you know how special it is to have wonderful people like you around. And next time when we get together, we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to make you laugh out loud. I promise. Of course, this video might have made you laugh out loud with the whole end of the world thing. I've been following what's going on out in Idaho with the murder of those children, and it just eats me. It eats me so much. Sometimes I want to put it on record what I said or how I feel. I want people to know I noticed what they did to those kids. And I want somehow those people to know they didn't get away with it. They thought they were gods on this earth, or that they could choose the day, the time, and the place of the end of all of us, that they would put themselves above us. All the things that they admonish, despise about the world, and the manipulations of the devils and gods of this planet, and yet they would wish the worst of all things of all time upon us, that we would all be destroyed in their end times baloney. And I want them to know you failed. If they ever see this, I want them to know you failed. You failed. Capiche? And that's all I want to say about the matter. I can't let it go. All they had to do was take those kids to a relative's house and let them go. That's all they had to do. Okay, take care, everyone, and we'll see you soon. And know that I love you very much. This is your old friend, Dr. Andrew Michaels. Till I speak to you again, please have a most blessed day. Bye-bye.